So the Prison Rape Elimination Act, PREA, applies to all incarcerated settings. The work that we've been doing has been with CDCR, which is the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. And so we've been working with these facilities, ensuring their compliance with these PREA standards. And the PREA standards really connect with the rape crisis centers as they are victim advocates. And so these standards ensure that incarcerated survivors have access to the same support that they would in the community, which means they have the right to have a forensic exam, a victim advocate throughout the investigatory process. They have the right to report sexual violence and receive any in-person counseling, hotline, letter writing, and the same support that we offer survivors in the community is ensuring that those that are incarcerated also have them. And so the process has been a learning experience for so many of us. It's really focused on culture change, and it's been a process to understand corrections, and also for corrections to understand the role of the rape crisis centers. We started really by working with these facilities so that they knew of the services that were available, and also has led to the development of MOUs, so memorandums of understandings, with CDCR headquarters and the designated rape crisis center. We've also been able to provide training for corrections on how to respond to sexual violence. A lot of times, folks that are correction officers don't understand the dynamics of power and control and sexual assault and intimate partner violence as well. So understanding that cycle of violence has been really enlightening for corrections, and also understand why folks don't come forward. We've also really tried to understand the culture within the facility with incarcerated folks. The power and control there is really evident, and so for someone in a male prison to come forward and say, I've been a victim of sexual assault, can be very difficult. We have met with inmates who are part of the Inmate Advisory Council who have said, there is no way that anybody is going to come forward. There is no way that anybody's going to say, I've been a victim of rape, whether it happened to me as a child, whether it happened to me incarcerated. But then we have created these relationships with these CDCR folks and put up posters and put up flyers and put up phone numbers, and we're starting receiving calls and we're receiving letters. For someone who is incarcerated to say, I've been sexually assaulted or I've been raped, to come forward, the stigma will come, the disempowerment might come because my cellmate might know why I'm coming forward. My cellmate might be my perpetrator. It takes a lot. And it shows the crisis that they're in, right? That they're willing to go through all of this to seek services. They're desperate. They want that service. And so the work that we've been doing has created this avenue for folks that are in these settings to really feel that they can come forward. We've worked with folks that are in juvenile detention centers as well. And the way that we've approached that is, how do we ensure that their survivors get those services that they need? Because again, they're part of the community. At some point, they might come out of those facilities and be a member of our community. So how do we ensure that they have access to this support within this setting, and also once they leave, that they know where to go? That work that CalCASA has been doing has been life-changing for our incarcerated folks. They have shared that they have never felt heard that they never have dealt with these issues of sexual violence that had occurred to them, which led to drug abuse, which led to alcohol abuse, which then led to them being incarcerated. The sexual assault to prison pipeline is real. And again, when we're looking at those settings, who are in there? Predominantly marginalized communities. Those that are more marginalized are who we find in these facilities who are victims of sexual violence, of domestic abuse, and we hear their stories and we see their pain. And so when I think about the Prison Rape Elimination Act, we have to, in every piece, right, anywhere we're at, look at these folks, humanize them, because they're treated as a number. We need to humanize them, humanize their experience, and reach out to our facilities that are in our communities to ensure that these folks have access to support. Sexual violence doesn't just occur in the community, it occurs in campuses and in prisons, everywhere, right? So as we're looking towards the future, we have to not forgive those that so often are left behind and so often are forgotten about. The SART response team in prisons are crucial, are so needed, because our incarcerated folks are not heard. We've had the opportunity recently to visit detention centers where immigrant victims are also in there. They come oftentimes to this country because of the violence that is occurring in their home country. Then they come here and encounter sexual violence on their way over. And then they're in these incarcerated settings and oftentimes encounter sexual violence. And then we send them back to their country of origin where they left the violence from. It's a circle of victimization, a circle of violence. It's a pipeline, right? And so when we're looking at this big picture of SART, we have to make sure that all members, that all systems are part of this so that we don't forget about those that are marginalized, those that are in these settings. They're part of the community as well.